Good Wednesday afternoon. It is 11:20 here in Pocatello, and if you saw the notification here, CodeTutorials360 will be on this channel, aka Dylan Israel. Really great guy. If you haven't seen any of his stuff, I highly suggest you check it out, and I'll actually bring that up. So what happened was Dylan actually reached out to me to cover a topic with him on being a remote developer and or being a developer in like an isolated area, not remote. So I went ahead and did that, and he'll have that video out sometime. I'm pretty sure he'll have it out soon because he doesn't sleep, you know. On those weekends, he gets those videos out. So you know, I'm looking forward to being on his channel, and he's going to be on here. And there's tons of questions that we could ask, but really, of course, the channel doesn't exist unless you have subscribers. You guys are the subscribers, you guys and gals, and so what questions should we ask him? If you're watching this at a later time, you can always leave a comment down below, and I will get to that as soon as possible, or I'll take that into consideration when looking for questions to ask him. So let's actually pull up his channel here. Here it is. If you haven't seen him, he does all sorts of coding stuff. He uses mainly Angular for just the dirty 30, and you can see he has 28,000 subscribers. So it's kind of a big deal, and he's a cool guy, anyways. You know, I've talked to him multiple times, and he's always out there to help, and it's pretty great stuff. So you should definitely check him out. But yeah, that's that's what today is all about. Is learning, or is looking for questions to ask him, maybe questions that you guys have wanted to know that I can ask directly or I can solve, and then fielding those questions, or having him speak on those, and then we'll put it up to the channel. Got one watching live. Cool. I know it's a kind of a weird time, unless you're on the other side of the world where it's like, what, 6 o'clock, anywhere from 6 to 5 o'clock, somewhere over there. So, whoops. It's been a struggle this week. I think I say that every week. Every day is a struggle, but like in a good way. Just trying to stay on top of videos, and then of course React. I had this video come out, and that I was doing for Dylan, and I couldn't get the software to work. It kept on crashing, and I just had to upgrade Camtasia. So it worked out, but you know, life is definitely full of struggles and surprises. Trying to stay up on my code. It's kind of crazy. It feels like YouTube is starting to take over a lot of my extra time, and I'm trying to grab that back. But when opportunities like this show up, you don't say no. You know, it's amazing, and I really like being on other people's channels, or just being involved in the community. I believe it's just as important as coding, you know, networking and stuff. And I had to do it in a unique way, which is through online stuff, which is what the video that Dylan's going to be putting out is all about. So keep a lookout for it. Oh man, it's kind of hard when you guys aren't here in chat, which is unfortunate, but I'm sure like you'll watch this at a later time, and let me know how it goes. So I'll just take the chat box off for now. We got 2 watching. Cool. And it always takes a while for people to get here. Today is a short live stream. I think I have I'd say about 20, probably a little less than 20 minutes before I have to get back to work. You know, get these power live streams in for lunch on Wednesdays. Now, I said it in my previous video, but if you didn't know, I'm actually doing live streaming on Wednesday at this time, which is like 11:30 Mountain Time. And then Saturday and Sunday in the morning, as early as I can. I want to say 10 Mountain Time. I know that's not early, but come on, give me a break. It's Saturday and Sunday, and I think those are usually the times that people are up anyway. So maybe 9:30. But I've had great success with doing those times. Just having engagement with you all. So you know, it's definitely been awesome. If you have a question or comment, of course, let me know in chat, and I will go ahead and answer that for you. Seems like we have a few here. Of course, everyone on this side of the pond split it up. There's like Europe and like, you know, the Americas, and so I think about, okay, if I go online at noon, then it will be 6 o'clock or so in the UK, and if I go here, you know, I don't think I'm gonna get as many subscribers. So usually on Wednesday it's more like for my international viewers, which is cool. You know, that's the cool thing about YouTube. You can have a whole bunch of people from all around the world. So I guess, well, we've kind of talked it up a bit. Let's talk about web development. It's been 5 minutes, so you know, I'll talk about web development now. I've been using handlebars at work, and it's a struggle to make sure you're doing everything right. I mean, just anything. You know, you totally get the feeling of, I don't know anything, so I had to Google everything. In fact, just this morning, we had to upgrade to, like, not just this morning, but recently we upgraded to Windows 2016, and the email templates looked different. So I had to just do a little bit of coding logic, but you know, that's easy stuff now, and you can just look that up. So it's mostly like if blocks for MSO. If you don't know what that means, it just lets like the client know, like, hey, if your Microsoft Office X version, do this. And so you know, had a win with the Googling. I definitely feel like I've Googled up since the last time I've done email templates. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and show you probably the go-to place for anything with Litmus, or excuse me, for anything with email, which is Litmus. So let's go ahead and pull that up. This is Litmus. Of course, this is the US, just litmus.com. And they are the people to go to for email stuff. I took a few courses on Pluralsight from them, and it was really great. I mean, it was the way that I learned this stuff. In fact, even before I got this job, I had to do like a coding challenge for a company to do email templates, and I learned on Pluralsight from Justine from Litmus, and I think it's Justin Rodriguez. So they're legit. Let's see, I'll actually pull it up. Email, HTML. I'm just in Pluralsight here. So let's see. Responsive HTML design. I mean, it's a couple years old, but the funny thing about like emails, like it changes very slowly. So slowly that you're like doing old school design with tables and stuff. So this is a course to get for sure. I guess I'll check out the chat here. Give me just a moment here. Oh, got a question. Hey, what's up, Icaro? Haven't seen you for a while. Yeah, everything is good. I'm a little bit tired, but that's a story of my life. If you're gonna, you know, try to grow, sometimes you have to go through moments of uncomfortableness, and today is one of those days. And that's why I got coffee though. So definitely a good day. I've been on coffee for like morphine drip coffee for the past couple of weeks, and it's great. It's not anything I should be complaining about, not at all. Just letting you know, man. Letting you know what's going on. Oh, and if you just got here, what questions should we ask Dylan from CodeTutorials360? He's going to be on the channel. I'm watching, but I don't always chat. Ah, cool. Well, I'm glad you chatted today. I really appreciate it when you're in the chat and you like the videos and all that stuff. That helps me. That helps get me up in search and interaction. It lets YouTube know, hey, people actually are interested in this. Of course, I'm not saying don't comment, of course, I'm not saying comment just for that reason. Don't comment if you don't feel like it, but it does help me. So if you feel like you should be commenting or you want to comment, I really do appreciate it. It helps me out so much. Nick says, the problem with Pluralsight, sometimes their courses are a bit dated. Nick, you are speaking the truth, my friend. Absolutely. I 100% agree. It's still like the best, but things get outdated so fast. And that's just with like web development in general. So, you know, they do it on watch time and like subscriber rates. So they're not as like, you know, it's all you can watch essentially. Versus like all these other like individuals, like say Andrew Mead from React, he has to keep his course, on point because you know, he's directly getting that revenue. He's seeing the performance. But I agree with you, Nick. It's still totally the best resource to learn web development. So Icaro says, I'm watching less YouTube and working more on coding. Hey man, that's totally understand. Good on you. And when you do watch YouTube, try to watch some YouTube stuff. Yes, George, I did notice that the new Udemy logo change. It kind of messed me up. I don't know what's going on with that color, but it's like a cursive U, and I don't understand it. But it's okay. The content is the same, and I'm cool with that. Do any of you guys not know who Dylan Israel is, or aka CodeTutorials360? Anyone not know who CodeTutorials360 is? Let me know. Or if you do know, let me know. Because I already showed his page, but I can do it again in case you guys are wondering who he is. Ask him what he thinks of the new Udemy logo. Yeah, okay, give me just a moment. I gotta write this down. I'll get out a notepad on the old computer. Sticky notes. Nick says, ask him how the new job is going. What's the new Udemy logo? Icaro says, I don't know what to ask Dylan. He basically answered all my questions. I'm one of his long-term subscribers. Yeah, boy. And he has given me plenty of salt from his giveaway. Get that salt. Hashtag salt. That's awesome, Icaro. If you've ever, you know, or, you know, something that might be, you can put any question there, and I'll just try to get the best to the top. So even if you think it's silly, go ahead and write it down, or go ahead and let me know. George says, I know it's Dylan's birthday today. Yeah, he's the dirty 30. I'll be next. I turned 30 in May, but maybe like, what's his goals for this from 30 to 40? What's the goals? Or maybe the goals for the year. 10 years is a long time. What's the goals for the year as a developer? That's one for me. And of course, if you guys have any questions for me, go ahead and throw them in too. I mean, that's what we're here for, Q&A and asking Dylan stuff and just telling you about my day and how things are going. Because we don't have a lot of time today. We have about, I have about 10 more minutes because it's a work day. And I'm using my lunch to talk to you guys. And how else would I want to spend it? so yeah, unfortunately that means short live streams in the middle of the week. But it's the best time that I found, is to stream right at this time. Oh, new question coming in. Cool. Sure, go ahead, Ace. When do you know when you're ready to apply for a junior developer job? When you think you're ready is when you apply. Or let me rephrase. The coding god is here. Damn, son. Look, he's right here. Hey, coding god, what would you like to ask Dylan for his channel? Let's see. I can't remember the question, Ace. When you know that you're ready to apply for a junior job, do you have portfolio projects? Do you know what you're at? It's always a good idea to go and see what you're doing before you apply for that job, and see how people respond to that. And then you can take notes. So you can go to an interview, or if you're not getting an interview, switch it from there. I would go way before like you're ready, and just see where you stand. Are you getting responses back? Are you not? So yeah. Icaro says, by the way, Ricky, I liked your first videos when you basically used Learning Platform and did a review of it. Will that come back soon? Icaro, I have done overviews of Pluralsight, Skillshare, Skillshare and Udemy. They're not like the other ones. I will be doing a 2017 review of Udacity, like you saw before, but better. Also, if you want to see something that was more recent, I did HubSpot Academy, and even since then I've gotten a lot better at video editing. So that will come back as soon as the Udacity Nano degree has ended. Oh yeah, your Redux project I saw in your last video looks pretty interesting. Thanks, Nick. It's pretty cool. Coding tutorial. Well, I can't ask you questions right now because we gotta save that for the video. In case you didn't know, or if you can hear, I don't know, Dylan, we're gonna do like a Q&A, but like with everyone from my channel, just asking you channel questions. That's what I like. In case you didn't know, Ace the Gamer says I got it because I know HTML and CSS and a little bit of JS, but didn't know if that was enough. When do employers look for nowadays for a junior dev? Well, to be honest, that's all I knew, Ace the Gamer, and I probably got a job sooner than I was ready for, but that's everyone. Just because people in this area can do that, but I had extra stuff like social media and graphic design. So go ahead and go out there and see what you have, and then take note of what you know, and then go from there. So they might say, hey, you need more design if you're applying for those types of jobs, or you find you're applying for those types of jobs, or hey, you need better coding, or you're not getting an interview for that. Maybe you need more projects. I would do that for sure if I were you, Ace. But sometimes you just have to get out there, because you never know until you put something out there to know where you stand. So that's what I would do. That's what I do all the time, actually. Coding God will arrive in the near future. I still can't get over that comment. It's so funny. Ace the Gamer says, I have a problem though. I can do these things, but if they ask me to explain it, it's hard for me. Then you gotta learn how to do it, man. And the best way to do that is over and over, or explaining it in a blog post. And I know that's really time consuming. Trust me, I don't like doing tutorial videos. But just talking about it, maybe doing like blog posts is a good way to get your thoughts out, and you can say, hey, this is what I'm doing, or this is what I did on this project, and that will help you in interviews. I'm not confident in my knowledge of terms. Again, if you do a blog post about it, like, hey, I'm learning this, it's going to stick with you better, and you're going to get better at explaining yourself, or conveying concepts. George May says, to be active on GitHub, to be active on GitHub is what employers like to see as well. Yeah, I've heard that too, George. I don't know, because I only got one job, and then I didn't have to go any farther. I did have projects. It is hard to be active on all these things, you know. You have to find something that makes you stick out. That's the main thing. It doesn't just have to be on GitHub. Maybe you have a lot of projects, and you don't make a ton of commits. Why? I don't know, but I've done it before. And then you upload those projects. That could be one thing. Maybe you have a blog that you explain each property, or each CSS option, or how JS works. That's another thing. And then maybe you do something like me, where you do a YouTube channel. That's something else. So those are all ways that you can stand out. Tell Dylan I miss him. I miss his oil lamp blower thing. You mean the infusion essential oil thing? My gig kind of trademark for him in his earlier videos. Yo, he still has that thing. He still uses the diffuser, just not as much. But yeah, I'll let him know for sure. Let me write that down. Who was that? Nick? The oil lamp thing. Ace says, I'm making a random website for my projects. Awesome, you should be doing that. Does it have to be fancy? No, it does not. Do it to the best of your ability. And sometimes that might look like shit, because I've done that. And if you've made it a responsive 4-page, good job. Oh, yeah, definitely put that in there, but it's not like a Chick-fil-A website. Not a big deal. Is that good enough? You're going to have to find out, man. Like, put it out there and put it on your projects and see what people think. That's the easiest way to do that. So I would definitely add it and put it on there. What's the harm? They're going to say no, and you're not there yet. At least you'll know, and you can work from there. A few more minutes, and then we've got to get to work. So, a sad day. No, I like work a lot, but I like hanging out with you guys too. Oh, I didn't ask today. Where's everyone watching from? Let me know. What question did your employer ask you when they hired me? If I knew responsive, how to make responsive projects, and I just showed them that. If I knew jQuery, and I showed them, yeah, I know a little bit. If I had graphic design, yeah. How do I learn was another thing that they asked, and I showed them, and how do I cover tough problems if I've never had them before. Cool, thanks for letting me know. New Hampshire, the Netherlands, so it's like, what, 9 o'clock there, Nick? Let me know. But yeah, it was, that was it. Like, how do I cover problems? They were just kind of trying to fill me out and like how I talk to people. They even asked like what my hobbies were. I was like, coding. It's like, do you like to fish? I like coding. So yeah, those were the main things. Responsive design, how do I do tough problems, what my hobbies are, do I know some programming, what some of the projects were that I did. So even though like I did the I did the Udacity Nano degree, I still didn't have a strong command over the language, but now for sure I do. But that wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it was, because I had some projects. I had a whole portfolio, and then I also had like a social media portfolio that was like made in InDesign, that was done with graphic design. In fact, let me show you. Maybe. We got about 2 minutes here, so get your questions in if you have them. How did your portfolio look? It looked kind of like crap, to be honest. It was fully responsive, but the design was ugly. And it was kind of hard for me. I didn't have as much experience, but there were also things like trying to just make it responsive. Things like Flexbox makes it child's play compared to like using margins and bootstrap classes and stuff. So it was kind of confusing. But I've shown it in a few other not podcasts, live streams. But I'm not going to do that today. I will share the portfolio, though, for sure. It's loading up here. Okay, let's go ahead and switch out. Are we on the right screen? Yeah. So this is my portfolio. Let me go ahead and kind of shrink myself down here in just a minute. So this is my portfolio for social media, and it was a long time ago, so I don't remember, you know, everything. Just showing some of the people I worked for and what their stats were, and these were my personal clients, and they were okay with that. So that's how I had all this stuff in here. What skill is valuable? Ace says, what skill is valuable as far as JS, HTML, and CSS? Google. Learning how to Google things is probably the strongest skill, but you just have to go in there, you know, and learn algorithms, and not just because you're going to deal with data, just because it makes you use the language a ton. Learning how the prototype chain works, learning arrays, for sure. You don't think about it now, but arrays are really important when you're doing like front-end development and displaying data. Ajax, but now we've kind of used fetch, and fetch is kind of the taking over instead of just an Ajax request, because it's kind of stupid to bring in jQuery just for an Ajax for a lot of projects. As in, what do they really want to know? Ajax, sorry, Ace the Gamer says, what skills are valuable as far as what people want to know? Ajax or XHTML requests, responsive design, and then the other thing is how you look up things, your ability to convey like your thoughts, and those are the main things I think. But I've only had one job, so I'm not the expert on here. George says, did your employer recognize the Nano degree and see it as meaningful? I think they did. I don't know for sure because I didn't ask, but I explained what it was, and I had my projects there, so I'm pretty sure they did. Ace the Gamer says, sorry if I'm asking you too many questions. No, not at all. Can you also leave a link to your website / portfolio? Ace the Gamer, I would recommend you just look at my GitHub, because I mean, I would not use this as a reference. We were just talking about this in a few live streams, how I have to redo this site. I'm going to go ahead and redo it in React. But let me show you my GitHub real quick. I'll just put that on screen. And I'm not one to put in a lot of GitHub projects. I'm so busy. But these React projects are going to go on there. So here's my GitHub. You can just find me by, I think it's Scarce Rich. Yeah, github.com, GARCRICH. All right, so that is all the time I have. I got to get back to work. You have to learn how GitHub works. You can learn that on Udemy. There was a few courses on Udemy about GitHub. So definitely check that out. Jason something was his name that has the best course. But that is all the time I have today. I got to get back to work and do some coding. Thanks for coming out, guys. John says, what's going on? I have to get back to work. That's what's going on, John. But thanks for coming anyways. Talk to you guys later.